About right now, for the guys that have the 6040 Mercury, and this is all of them from when they started that I know of with these 4-strokes here. But a flaw, which I think it has pros and cons, in my opinion, and we'll talk about those real quick. Right here is a silly little piece of plastic, and mine's already busted up, mangled up. I cut the other one off on my other boat. It gets so mangled. But anyway, what this here is just a little spacer to keep the motor from riding up and down on that shaft. I'll try to shove up on it here and you can see, watch it slide up. You get a gap there and everything like that. Now, where I think that's a pro with the Jet, once you're in there, especially if you're trimmed up on plane, you have a very short angle of approach here, so whenever you hit something, the motor just rides up and rides back down, right? It's excellent. But on one time on my other boat, which was the same motor, I actually had this coupling it was just busted off. It actually hung up, like it came out of the bearing here, and the motor was raised up an inch, and it wouldn't get on plane because another inch too high was too high. So I had to get back here in the water, jiggle and jangle around on it till it finally fell back down, and no issue ever again. It done it one time in 1,000 hours. But you could take a piece of PVC, cut it in half, hose clamp it around there if you do not want that to ride up and down. I'm sure you could probably create some type of spring or sponge or something that would work as good. And the other complaint I have about this is to change this bushing. There's a seal and bearing here, and up here is a bushing that you ride on. To change that, you have to pull the power head. This nut right here, right there, that bolt right there, the nut's underneath the power head, so you have to pull it. I've done it right here. I think I hung it off of that tree on my old boat, because just after all those hours and banging and clanging, this little plastic bushing here was gone. The seal had fallen out from the bottom, and that plastic bushing also was, or I can't remember what was in there, but anyway, you know, something you would think that would take an hour to do takes 5 or 6. So that's that story on the 6040 Merc.